Okay, let's do this. Hello, how are you? I hope you're good. I am here to show you how much I failed my no-buy thing. I'm just joking, actually. I have decided to not do that anymore because I'm doing the TBR tab bi-monthly. It would take me probably like 7 months to complete it. Didn't really make sense to me. Anyway, I got a haul. I have some books to show you, books to unbox with you with, 2 FairyLoot unboxings, and some Kindle books as well. So I think without further ado, let's get into it. There's absolutely also like no theme to this. So just a little bit of everything. So in random order, let's start with the physical ones that I have. My pre-order of Cytonic came in. This is the 3rd book in the Skyward series. Is it called Skyward? I think so. Brandon Sanderson, this is a YA sci-fi series by him. I really enjoy it. It's not like 5 stars, but the 2nd book I actually enjoyed more than the 1st one, which I think is a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but it had some tropes or plot thingies that I really personally enjoy. This is about a girl who lives on this planet where the surface of it is very dangerous and there's constant attacks. Her father was named the traitor pilot, which is like the worst thing to have to happen. She doesn't believe that it was, rightfully so. And we have a spaceship, we have an AI, we have a doom slug. It's all very fun. It's very action-packed, I'd say, so if you're looking for a faster sci-fi, that's very easy to get into. It's not technical whatsoever from what I remember. Great audiobook as well, would recommend. As per always, I'll show you the Nakey books. This one is just navy blue, however, it does have somewhat fun and papers. The Death of Jane Lawrence seems to be a story about a woman who decides that the best thing forward for her is path of marriage, and she finds a man that allows her to do whatever she wants and use the resources, from what I remember, with one condition, that she never visits this house, place, thing. And of course, the circumstances just so have it that she just has to, and something really iffy happens there. This is supposed to be a gothic story. I believe she sees him, but him really not acting himself. So it's gonna be like a little bit mysterious, but yeah, it has the whole like gothic, maybe haunted house vibes. It's maroon underneath. I love the cover. Look at this cover. Beautiful. Winter's Orbit with this beautiful cover again. This is a space opera queer love story where one, who is he? Emperor's least favorite grandchild is being forced to collaborate and wed Count Jainan, a widower and murder suspect, but the conspiracies around them make them work together, and obviously sparks fly into space. I don't know why I said it that way, but I did. This is the cover underneath, a light blue. From what I could tell, this is adult, and I'm excited to dive into a new sci-fi. This looks like it could be a fun one. Again, the cover doesn't hurt. It just does not hurt. Then we have Earthlings. This is by the author who wrote The Convenience Store Woman, heard mostly great things about. But this one just reminded me of The Humans a little bit, the premise, and it just sounds like such my cup of tea. On the back it says, how far will you go just to be yourself? And it's about a girl called Natsuki who lives quietly in her asexual marriage, pretending to be normal, hiding the horrors of her childhood from her family and friends. But she also believes, I think, from what I understood, is that there are aliens that are about to come and get her and almost kind of rescue her from this place. I don't know how much that part plays into the story, but I really liked We Are the Ants book, and then obviously The Humans. So that just kind of like tickled my curiosity, so I thought I'd give it a go, and actually is quite a short read at like 250 pages, so I thought it would be perfect to mix it into my TBR. The next thing is Sheets, which is a graphic novel, and it looks really, really interesting. It looks like this. I actually think this might be middle grade. It's about a 13-year-old girl who has to run her family's laundrette. She has like all of those daily struggles, as well as being a teen and, you know, not really relating to other people. And then we also have Wendell. It's a bit different too. Wendell is a ghost. The reason I picked this one up is that it kept being recommended to me by the algorithm. Then I looked into some reviews and it seemed to be like a really, really wholesome, and people said like, I really don't regret reading this. So I'm hoping this would be it. It's been a while since I read like a cutesy one, and I don't really have a lot of options currently available to me that I have something like that, and I think if the mood strikes, I would like to have something, so that is why I have that. The next one I got because it kept reappearing around me because it is written by a Scottish person and it's set in the Highlands, and this one's called Pine. I love the cover. I actually really like this kind of simple but interesting covers. It's set in a very small town with like a small town claustrophobia type of feel, where someone stumbles upon a mysterious woman and they take her home, but then she's gone the next day and then people start disappearing. There's also an element of tarot cards which intrigued me, so I'm hoping there's gonna be a little bit paranormal vibes. Other than that, I'm not really sure what to expect, but it says shortlisted for the Bloody Scotland crime debut, so I'm assuming it's a crime book. It's gonna be an interesting one to try at some point. This one's massive and it's quite like ballsy of me, but I had the first and the second in this edition and I don't know yet if I'm gonna like it. I'm really hopeful now that I got the third one, but I wanted to complete this in case it disappears from the print. So this is Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb, which is the third book in this edition for the Assassin's Apprentice. Farseer? I'm not sure how it's called, but it's an illustrated edition, so there's illustrations throughout, and it's beautiful, but it's so heavy, and the spine actually doesn't quite match the other ones because this one's flat, the other ones are rounded. I'm assuming it's because of the thickness, but I kind of wish the other ones were like flat or something. Next we have the new book by TJ Klune, Under the Whispering Door. That also sounds really interesting to me, actually more intriguing than the Cerulean Sea, which I actually did enjoy. But this one deals with death, which is why I'm intrigued by it. It seems to be about a person who's attending his own funeral and then the death comes to take them, and he is very resistant and full of regret, I think. He's given 7 days to pass to the other side, and he realizes that he has a lot of living to do in those 7 days, and it just sounds great. I'm very excited about this one. It's another blue one underneath. Maybe this is quite wintry, who knows. Another chonker is the Leviathan Wakes, this type of edition. Can you see the glowiness? The Expanse has long now been my favorite sci-fi show. I absolutely adore it. I was always a bit hesitant reading the books because I've heard that the first one is great and then it goes downhill. So I never really took the plunge, but I think I kind of have to take a chance because I think that my bar might be lower than a lot of people's when it comes to a favorite thing, or I'm gonna completely trip myself up with this and regret it. But they released a new edition and I am a fickle baby. So here we have the book. It's quite much bigger than I thought, but it has these hot pink sprayed edges. And we have these type of end papers with the belt, and oh, I love it. Okay, and then we actually have our first artwork, which is so rare, I feel, in just normal releases. Well, it's a special edition, but you know what I mean. And then look how it looks underneath. This is like a FairyLoot edition. I love it. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to delve into this. I think it's been a very long time now since I watched the first season of The Expanse, and I don't know how closely the show follows the book. So it's just stars are aligning. Speaking of favorite sci-fis, I got Becky Chambers, A Psalm for the Wild Build. I can put her titles, I can't. This is a tiny novella. It's about a monk and a robot. If you know her books, it's like a hug in a sci-fi. It's definitely not like action-packed for the most part. And I cannot wait to read this. I feel like this is just gonna be like a hug that I really need. Then we have a Dark Academia one called Vita Nostra, and this is a translated work from Ukraine. Those by two co-authors, and this seems like a really interesting premise. It's about Sasha, who performs these tasks kind of like against her will to this, I'm assuming, deity, and she gets rewarded with golden coins. And then she's also instructed to travel to a remote village and use the gold coin to enter the Institute of Special Technologies. And this seems to be like an academia that have really obscure lessons and books that are impossible to read, but the more she stays there, the more she craves it. But the school uses terror and coercion to keep students in line. So it seems to be like a little bit darker. Well, I mean, dark academia, but I'm really excited. This is the tiniest print I've ever seen though. tiny. So that's a little bit scary. Very excited. I'm also very excited. This is more of a Slavic Eastern European book. It's been a long time. I need to get back to my roots. A more sci-fi. Who is surprised? I have this beautiful edition of Dune. Logan has already read Dune and I haven't, because from what I remember, he said that I wouldn't like it. Now he's adamant that he didn't say that, but I know better. This one has beautiful sprayed edges with this design on it. I personally really enjoyed the movie. I'm a sci-fi nerd. It doesn't take too much for me to love it, but I genuinely think the soundtrack, it just gave me life. We have the earthworms on the papers, and we actually have this quote here. So now I feel like I've missed out. Fully blame Logan for it. We have another end paper here. And now I just have to catch up. And apparently the movie only covered like a little bit of the first book, so it's not gonna be too long until I get new content as well. So very, very excited for this one. The last book that's not in the box and physically with me is The Shadow of the Gods, which is our December winner of the Patreon reads. So this is our book club. This is a Norse-inspired epic fantasy about a world where the gods of, what were they? Or just the gods. They drove themselves extinct, but they left their bones behind, and they promise great power for those brave enough to seek them out. And I think we have three main characters, and fate follows that puts three main characters, three warriors: a huntress, a nobleman, and a thrall. It's just black underneath. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this one has to offer. Let me get into the other things that I don't have with me physically, but I still got. So I do have a book that is due to come today, and that is The Bone Shard Emperor, which is the second book into the Bone Shard Daughter. Yes. I actually really enjoyed it. This was one of the surprising reads for me, because I don't know, I was just not expecting to enjoy it as much, especially because the setting is like islands surrounded by water, obviously. But it had one of the most endearing and beautiful animal companion I've ever read about. I'm very attached to that. If something happens to them, I will rage. It has a sci-fi element a little bit, in my opinion, because there's a lot of like science-based kind of necromancy happening, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. There was some humor that I liked. It was kind of like lighthearted whilst not being too lighthearted, and I'm very excited to continue with that. And then I got some books on Kindle. First one is The End of Men, and that one just simply really reminded me of Why the Last Man. But I think it's also, oh no, I just opened it. I just wanted to look at you in other places, man. I'm pretty sure this is set in Glasgow though. That's why I maybe picked it up, or at least in Scotland. This is like a thriller type of dystopian book about the extinction of men. Pretty sure. It's a virus that kills only men sweeps the globe. Society is forced to adjust to a new world order in this provocative, poignant, and yet ultimately hopeful page-turner from a bold new voice. So there we go. That's it. Another one that's like a speculative fiction thing is Constance. This one is set in a world where cloning is a new norm, well, at least it's possible. But something goes really wrong for the main character. Monthly upload of her consciousness, so maybe they're making like backups. Something goes wrong and she wakes up 18 months later and is told that her original self is dead, and then it has to go through the whole thing of like, what does that make me? Very excited about this. Then I got Uzumaki in the Kindle edition. I really wanted this physically, but I just can't for the life of me find it. I just have a feeling I will really like this. I've not read any mangas from this author yet, and it's about a person that gets progressively more unnerved by the repetitiveness of spirals that he starts seeing everywhere. Oh, I'm so excited to read this actually. I will do my best to put it in my December TBR because that just sounds amazing. And then I also got something that is kind of considered like a YA fantasy classic, I guess. And that's Sabriel, and this is a story of going on an adventure and to learn magic. I think a lot of people know about Sabriel already, so I probably shouldn't linger here, but it has a school setting, and I think it's an anniversary currently, so I thought it would be fitting. Okay, that concludes, I believe, the books that I had gotten, but let's move to a couple of special editions. Let me open these with you. These are the FairyLoot editions, and again, and then I have the 2 FairyLoot unboxings as well to do. I should say that I work at FairyLoot, so I work on these editions and I work on the boxes. So they are sent to me as an employee. And honestly, it's always so amazing to finally see them in person. Oh my god, okay. So the first one is the Winter Night trilogy. These are the edges. That's how those look like. And these boys are the spines. Oh, they're so pretty. I am in love. By one, we have the bear and the nightingale. A lot of shiny. These are the end papers. And they are signed. This is the foil underneath the first one. And the spine. The girl in the tower. I have a horsey with the red sprayed edges. Red end papers, a signature, the horse under the cover. Beautiful. And the Winter of the Witch with a bear. The end papers, the signature, and underneath the dust jacket, a bear. And the spine. Oh. Then we have the Angelful books. Easy to tell which one's which one, because there's wings on the spine that align. So Angelful is actually quite an older YA series that I completely missed out on. And it's, as the name would suggest, it's very angel focused, and I honestly don't remember the last time I read anything with angels. Kind of the original covers, but redone a little bit with different colors as well. And the first one... Okay, so prepare for a lot of foil. This is the first hardback underneath the dust jacket. We also have the same kind of spine here in case you want to do it without the dust jacket. And the dust jacket has artwork on the other side of it. That looks like this. Second one is a blue one with the blue edges, the foil underneath, and the dust jacket. And the third one is this teal color with the teal edges. Oh, and I should have said they're all signed. This is the hardcover, and this is in the dust jacket. So that's the end of the books alone. Let me go on to the boxes. So I have 2. One will be the October and one will be the November box. Now which one's which one? So this is the October one, and the theme was broken hearts. This is how the spoiler card looks like. And the first item right on top is this blanket, but I will show you in like b-roll how it looks like. This is inspired by Kingdom of the Wicked, and it's done by Forensics and Flowers. I love their designs. I love the colors of this, and it's really soft. It's not the smallest size that there are, but it's not the biggest one either, so it's the medium one that's perfect for kind of like a lap when you're reading as well, but you can wear it as a cloak. I know because I have done that. And then we have Once Upon a Broken Heart character cards. These are done by Morgana, and they are stunning. You actually have gilded edges on the cards and then foil on the actual, well, cards. And this is how the back looks like as well. The characters are so pretty. I literally want to be every single one of them. They're so stunning. There's one with like a mask that really intrigues me because like what's happened, you know? The first in a Trinket Tray Collectibles is this Addie LaRue one, illustrated by Ars, and it's really stunning. We obviously have the constellation. It's kind of shiny, so it's hard to show on camera. You can obviously store stuff in it, but you can also buy like a little stand and stand it on your bookshelf, which is what I'm gonna do. I already have the stands ready for me. I really like this kind of black and white artwork because it almost looks like it's stepped out of the page, you know? Then we have a little postcard from We Set the Dark on Fire, and it says, "It's a viper's nest, see that you have the strongest venom." And the colors kind of match the book cover. And there was also supposed to be a lore keychain, but that's gonna be in the December box instead because of the massive delays that everything in the world has currently. We have the month's tarot cards as well, which are pretty. And then we come to the book, which is really extra this month. We first obviously have the monthly collectible bookmark, a fairy scoop, and the character art print and the author letter. It's Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Not surprisingly, I feel like there's a lot of clues here. With a different colorway, and then these sprayed edges, they're so cute. I love the pink on pink. And then I have normal pink edges on the sides, and oh god, okay, this one literally has everything. So we have the artwork on the end papers, on both ends. And then we have foil with the book from the book on this side, and a different foil on the other side. And it's very, very pink. And the book is, of course, signed. And then lastly, we have Rosie Thorn jacket. I'm actually very intrigued by this book. I didn't have the best luck, but I actually really liked Caraval and then didn't really enjoy Legendary and then never really continued with it, which I know is like the opposite of everyone else's preferences, but so yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued about this one. Okay, let's go to the November one. So the theme is When Vengeance is Yours, with the spoiler card here if you want to pause and look. The first thing we have is the travel mug. It's Jade Fire Gold inspired. Hint, hint for the book. Let me take it out so you can see the design properly. It has this holder ring, but if you want to see the design, you can take that off. And that's how it looks like. Then we have this cute packaging for the dragon from Rage of Dragons inspired washi tape. Perfect for the planners. That's how it looks like. Has like some quotes and the overall dragon-like design. Both the mug and this are designed by Blanca. Then we have the Poppy War enamel pin, side by Saltese, and I love it. It's hard to show you. Wait, how do I show it? It says, I don't believe in gods, I believe in power, and it has written on it. Then we have another one of those microfiber cloths, so perfect for like dusting your shelves, for example, or any type of surfaces like glasses. And this one is inspired by Vicious, and it has that kind of dark academia vibe on it. The world resists when you break its rules, and I love the design. And it's done by Stella Bookish Art. And then we have this pleather foiled reading journal, but it's not actually the way that you normally kind of see it. This one is inspired by From Blood and Ash, and the design is done by Chatty Nora. But this is, oh, and it has red pages. I almost didn't show you that. And it has like a little elastic band as well. Ooh, the crack spine. But this is actually like a review notebook. So instead of having a lot of pages that you not necessarily might use and having things like monthly that again you might not use, this is literally for putting in reviews. You can use it to track all of your reading. You can dedicate this to your favorite books. I really like the idea. Then next to tarot cards, beautiful. And then the book of the month. As always, matching bookmark, fairy scoop, and then the author letter with the beautiful artwork. Ooh, and then we have Jade Fire Gold with that different colorway and these edges. You have stenciled here, sprayed on both ends, signed by the author, and we come to the foil. We have this very dynamic foil here. I love it. Of the two main characters. This is maybe one of my favorite dust jackets actually. Look at that. It's so beautiful. I love it. Look at them. I'm really, really interested in reading this book. Okay, you have survived the whole video. If you made it this far, leave a fire emoji for the Jade Fire Gold. No, but thank you so much for watching. I hope this was fun. I love watching a good haul and an unboxing is like a staple. Let me know if I've gotten any of your favorite books or ones that you are also excited to read or have read and hated. I would like to know. I will adjust my expectations accordingly. But thank you so very much. I'll speak to you in the comments. Stay awesome, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!